player first, trainer second. I played for over 10 years of pro basketball, and I've been training for, I guess, about 12 years. I consider myself one of the top guys around. The toughest guy that ever came across, man, that's a tough one, bro. That's a tough one, man. I can't really even answer that one because I done trained so many guys. I mean, Emmanuel Moutier, he's tough. If you go right now, who's the hot guy right now today, of course you have to say Marcus Smart. I like Marcus. Keith Frazier. I love Marcus just for the simple fact that, you know, right now he does all the little stuff. I'm an old school throwback type of cat. Marcus Smart, he does the little things as far as take charges, rebound. He's always around the basketball. Right now everyone knows about him, but I was telling people about Marcus when he was in 10th grade, telling him I thought he was probably the top player in the country, but people thought I was crazy. But that's one of the guys that comes to mind. But like Jordan Jones, our forward girls, I got Jordan Jones, Alexis Jones, Mariah Jefferson. I mean, I done trained Mariah and Jordan since they were in 3rd grade. I took them all the way up. So I train a lot of players. I really don't have nothing to say negative toward them. I mean, I understand, but one thing about me, my resume speaks for itself. And when I say my resume, I will not, if you go to my website, I don't even have 1/3 of the people on my website that I done trained over the years that's playing Division I basketball, then some pros. I will never put a guy on my website or say that I train him if I haven't at least worked with him for a year. I mean, when I say I have a kid, I mean, like for instance, Trey Davis. I just recently put Trey back up on my website because I have so many kids and I forget about guys. And this is one of the first guys I trained. This is like my little brother, but when I was putting my website out, the guy was just asking me different people who I trained. I was just putting names down. But Trey Davis is at UMass now. I trained him since he was 3rd grade, and all the way up until he was at UMass. So parents just need to be careful, you know, because anybody can speak a good game, talk a good game. I'm not really big on gimmicks. I can do all type of drills, tricks with the ball, but I'm not a gimmicky type dude. My thing is about fundamentals and teaching guys how to play the game so when they hit college, they're ready, you know. And every kid is different, you know. It's not to say that if you come to me, you're definitely gonna be a McDonald All-American, but I guarantee you come to me, you're gonna improve a whole lot. And I can guarantee that, and I have done it. So, yeah, I understand guys put people on their websites after they train 3 or 4 times. I understand, but I really don't understand. So I just tell parents, you have to be careful and make sure that that guy truly trained the guy or the girl that he said that he trained. So from my opinion and from what I used to do, and again, man, it's track record. You can ask people around Dallas, Texas who knew me as a basketball player. Forget training. I was a basketball. I'm always gonna say I'm a basketball player first. For me, I used to shoot 500 shots a day. I work on my hammers for an hour and a half, 2 hours. I go lift weights. I didn't like to lift weights, I'll be honest with you, but I love the results of lifting weights on the court. So if you're not putting at least about 4 or 5 hours a day on your game, I mean, for me, I don't think you're gonna get the return you want. I mean, so say you don't wanna overdo it, but at the same time, I laugh at guys when I see them in the gym. Okay, they say they put an hour in, which is good. Now, once you're a pro, you can put an hour and a half in because it's specific things that you work on. But when you're a young puppy growing up trying to become a player, you need to go shoot the jumper on your own. You have to go work on your dribbling on your own. You need to go do the defensive techniques and slides that no one likes to do, but it's necessary because I have never seen a coach not put a play on the court that's a great defensive play. So if you want to play college basketball, you definitely need to work on your defense on your own. And then after you do all that, you need to go practice against someone. You need to go play pickup basketball. I'm a big fan of playing pickup basketball because, yes, some people say you pick up bad habits. But in my opinion, you learn how to develop your game. You know what you can do and what you can't do. The things you can do, you go work on it. You go back to the lab and work on it. So if you're really trying to be a true elite level player, you have to work on your game constantly every day. And if you don't want to put the 5 hours, at least 2.5, 3 hours a day. I mean, it really starts in your heart. If you ask me, if I really be honest about it, it really takes who wants it the most. Are you a killer? I asked Marcus one time, man. I said, man, what made you choose Oklahoma State? I said, why you didn't play on the top teams, so-called top teams? And he said, man, my brothers told me this. My brother said, Walsh, they said, don't go play with the best talent, go play against them. And that let me know right there about his heart. He was a killer. He wanted to go against the top players, and he wanted to go at them and kill them. So if you want to be one of these elite type players, man, you got to put the work in on your own, but it's more than just putting the work in. Now you got to have the heart to go at whoever, whenever, wherever. And that's what I think, if you want to be that dude, you have to have that mindset. And the guys who have that mindset, they ready, they prepared. So whoever in front of them, it's a dogfight. And if it's two killers in front of each other, hey, it's gonna go down. Oh, that's a good one. I like both. I'm not gonna lie. The only thing I don't like about high school basketball right now is the shot clock. I think if you put a shot clock in the game, it's gonna improve these kids' IQ. When I played in Europe, the young guys over there had super high IQ, and from the fact that they playing against guys like us, but they're used to playing against the shot clock. The shot clock, when you don't have a shot clock, it takes away from your being able to react and respond fast. Because when it's a shot clock, you only have 35 seconds. So when that 35 seconds go down to 10, what are you going to do as a player? Because a coach, he can diagram plays, so he can only do so much. You have to be able to 1-4 flat, spread the court, run a pick and roll, know what play to make, what pass to make, what decision to make. So when you have a shot clock, you understand the clock, the time, the situation. When I say time of the game, of course you got the shot clock and then you got the score. So it's just, I think that's what's missing in the game. So I like both. Well, man, it's like this, man. I'm the godfather of this thing. And John Lucas is the man. He's the true godfather. But the next generation, I'm the godfather. I've been doing this for 12 years. I'm a player first. Don't never forget that. I'm a player. So I still bust up my college and pro guys. So if it's a trainer out there, I feel like I can get at any one of them because I'm that dude on that hoop court. As a trainer, I'm that dude. As a hooper, I'm that dude. There's a lot of good trainers, but don't get it twisted. I'm a hooper first. So as a hooper, I ain't finna say nobody can bust me up because I done gave people 50 and 60. It's in the books. That's what it is. I'm getting ready to do something for spring. I'm gonna do a spring break camp with Highlight Hoops. I'm going to team up with my boy over there at Highlight Hoops, Trey, and we're gonna do a spring break camp. And I'm bringing it back to the South. I've been in the North for years. I've been in the South, but a lot of parents have been coming out to the North to train with me, so they've been asking me to come back, so I'm going to come back and start doing stuff. I'm going to be at the field house, Bobby Knight Field House, but the most recent thing that what I'm about to do is this spring break camp that's going to be hot. It's going to be going down at, it's going to be at Bowles Middle School in Arlington. So me and Highlight Hoops, we're going to do this, we're going to put it down. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be great. And all the kids that come out and get it, girls and boys, they're going to improve a lot. I think guys are more athletic and stronger maybe, but the game is not as physical. So that strength is negated with not being physical. So it really don't matter how strong guys are because, you know, it's not as physical. Today, if I had to think about today's game, and I don't want to be one of those guys talking about guys can't play in today's game. They can play, but back in the day, when you go to camp, you were, I'm not going to say you was fearing anybody, but before camp, you thinking about guys. At every team back in the cut, back in the 80s and 90s, there was a dude there, if you a guard, that you had to make sure your game was 100% ready. For instance, if you had to go to a camp in today's game, if I'm a guard, and from my standpoint, a guard, there wouldn't be but probably 4 guys as a basketball player that I would truly say I need to have my handles ready because he has deep. One camp I would say would be Oklahoma City Thunder, Russell Westbrook. I mean, we all know what he does. So you know that when you go to that camp, you know that he's going to be up in you. So he's a throwback type of guy. Another camp probably will be the Boston Celtics. But after Rondo, there's no one else. Another team that I would just give credit just because he's a real tough-minded guy and a tough guy would be the LA Clippers because of Chris Paul. But if I had to really just think about it, maybe I'm missing a couple guys. There might be 2 or 3 that I'm missing, but for the most part, there's only one, maybe 4 or 5 guys in the whole league that if you are a guard going into camp in today's game that you're going to think about. Back in the cut, in the 90s, 80s, man, come on. If you go to the Detroit Pistons, you have not only Isaiah Thomas, you got Isaiah, you got Vinny Johnson, you got Joe Dumars locking up, which he used to lock up Michael Jordan, so you know what that is.
The Bad Boys.
Bad Boys, exactly. They had that name for a reason. Then you go to Seattle Supersonics. You know, people can say what they want, but to me, the all-time best defensive player was one of my idols, Gary Payton. You got Gary Payton in your ear all the time, talking, coming at you. Now, I'm not going to say you're going to fear anybody. You're going to go at them, but you better make sure your game is together when you go up in there.
Right.
Then I can even say Eric Snow. Yeah, you know, East Snow, that's one of my boys. Some people say he wasn't a scorer, but hey, East Snow was a scorer in college. But I guarantee you this, when you go up in camp with East Snow, it was D'd up. Kevin Allen, D up. Let's go to some guys that you guys would know. You go to Dallas Mavericks. You got Rolando Blackman, and the guy who made the NBA change the whole rule, the whole hand-checking rule. He's the one who taught me how to really play defense. Derek Harper. He literally made the NBA say, hey, no more hand-checking because he was making guys look so bad. You go to Atlanta Hawks. You had Mookie Blaylock. Now, a guy that I really loved in college was Kenny Anderson, who arguably had one of the best college basketball handles ever to play the game. And Kenny couldn't even start because of a guy like Mookie Blaylock who has such great defense. Well, basically, you can find me on my website at www.nextlevelbball.com, as well as on Instagram, Walsh Jordan Basketball Training, or Walsh J, and on Twitter, Walsh Jordan 1 on Twitter. So those are 3 main places you can find me, and my number 214-924-7041. Get in.